Hi, I'm Nick from I'mWinningAtLife.com. This week I want to talk about overcoming your fears. I want to talk a little bit about what fears you have and how you can change those fears. So last week we talked about, do you remember? Or did you see it? If you didn't, go back and watch it. We talked about work ethic and we talked about effort. So we talked about how if you want to get somewhere in life, you definitely need to put in the work ethic. You need to work for it. Nothing's going to be handed to you in life. We also talked about effort. Those two are kind of interrelated to each other, right? You gotta put in the effort. If you don't put in the effort, you're gonna go nowhere. I promise you. So I also told you that this week I was gonna talk about climbing, and I was gonna talk about your fears and how to overcome your fears and how fears really hold us back, because they do, right? We don't realize it, but it's fear that really holds us back. So we're only born with one fear, and that's the fear of loud noises. The rest of the fears that we have, they're learned. They're learned from somebody else, from our parents, from our friends, from past experiences. We've cataloged those up inside of our mind, and we react to them all the time. So the couple of fears that I see all the time in people, and even in myself sometimes, is the fear of failure and the fear of success. Those are probably the two most common, right? People are afraid that, oh my gosh, I might actually succeed. And people are afraid, well, I'm just gonna fail, so why would I do it? The other one that I see kind of a lot is a fear of what people will think of you. So what is this person gonna think of me? If I do this or if I do that, what will they say? What will they think of me? Some of the other ones that a lot of people get into are fears of public speaking. That's real common for people. Fear of heights is real common for people. And everybody's got their own fears. So I also promised you that I would take you guys climbing with me. And so I did get some footage of the climbing. I didn't get in nearly as much climbing as I wanted to get in. I really wanted to get in more climbing, but it just didn't happen. There was a lot of rain this weekend, and so in between the time that I had and the rain, I really didn't get in nearly as much climbing as I wanted to. But I do have a little bit of other footage that I'm going to try to mix in from the climbing gym that I go to, and we'll go from there. So first, I want to tell you a little bit about my fear and kind of how it relates to my life. So, and how I've overcome it. I want to give you a real life example, and I want you to hopefully watch the video because it's got some climbing in it, which is pretty cool. It's not crazy, awesome footage shot by professionals, just shot by me, but it's definitely pretty neat and something to check out. So, I'm going to tell you, I started climbing about 2.5 years ago, and I was deathly afraid of heights. That's been since I was a kid. I was afraid of heights. So that fear came from when I was about 8. I got pushed off of a staircase in a home that was being built that didn't have railings on it. I was walking up these stairs. I was probably about 8 feet up, and I had my dog with me, which is a big golden retriever, and that golden retriever ran past me and ran into me and pushed me off the stairs on accident, and I fell about 8 feet. Now I didn't get real hurt, but it scared me to death as a kid. Now I can tell you too that both my mom and my dad are both afraid of heights. Now where they got it from, I'm gonna assume from their parents, okay? They weren't born with it. I wasn't born with it. It was learned for me, okay? Just like it's learned for most people. Most people don't have a fear of heights because they haven't had a near-death experience to where they would react so much to it, okay? But I can tell you that you know, a lot of people have a fear of heights, and that fear of death is the only other thing that I can think of that really is like almost like biological, I guess is the best way I would say it. It's something that your body cannot help, right? It's that potential fear of death. That your body wants to keep you alive, therefore, and your mind wants to keep you alive, therefore it's going to do things like put fear into your brain for you to react to, or in your mind, I should say, put fear into your mind for you to react to try to keep you safe. So with that being said, I started climbing 2.5 years ago, and I was really, really afraid. So I started at a local gym about 30 feet up, and I didn't want to let go, and it scared me. But I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do it. Like, I really want to do it, and not because I really want to climb, but I was on quite a bit of a fitness kick at the time, and I was thinking to myself, I know it sounds a little silly, but I was thinking to myself, man, you never see really overweight climbers. All the climbers are really skinny, like they're fit. They're not super muscle bound. They're not winning any fitness competitions, but their body fat content is really, really low. And so I was like, man, this ought to be kind of cool. Like, hopefully this will help a little bit, and it has helped. But I also thought it would be kind of cool, but I can tell I was afraid of heights. So after probably about a year, I was pretty used to the 30 feet. I get up to the top and jump off, and you're roped in, so no big deal. Like, you're not going anywhere. You get used to it, and that fear is no big deal. But I went to a gym down in San Diego, and they had probably about a 45-foot route, and that route went straight up, and then had a little tabletop that you walked in, maybe 3 feet, and then you start climbing again with a little bit of overhang. And the rope was kind of offset when you got to the top. So the rope, you get to the top and you're on the wall, and the rope is kind of sitting out behind you, 3 or 4 feet. So you gotta let go and you're gonna swing out. There's no way around it. Like, you can't. So I can tell you I was freaked out. And I didn't want to let go. I got to the top, but I was like, just do it. And so I did it. And I swung out, and I kind of freaked out a little bit. In my mind, I probably looked like a total knucklehead. I got arms flailing and everything, and legs kicking, but it probably wasn't that bad. But I did it, and no big deal. It kind of spooked me a little bit. Well, now I climb at a local gym called Cinder One. And Cinder One, the routes are between 50 and 60 feet. So I was out climbing this weekend to give you an idea of how things have changed for me and progressed. I was out climbing, and I was talking with my climbing partner, and they were talking with some of my family who was out there with us. And my climbing partner says, man, I can't believe it. He now at our local gym, he'll get 45, 50 feet up, and he'll be on an overhang, and he'll just let go of the wall, and he'll be swinging back and forth, 15 feet from the wall, and just swinging there. And like, I can't even believe or know where that came from. Like, why? Like, how did it even happen? And I thought there, and to me, I was like, wow, it's pretty cool. Like, looking back on it, I can't even believe it. So my partner says, oh yeah, he doesn't. My climbing partner, he used to be kind of afraid of it, but now it's like no big deal. Like, I would have never guessed this when I met him, and I thought about it. I was like, yeah, it really doesn't bother me. Like, I climb to the top, I swing out, like I get tired at 40 or 45 feet. If I'm on a really tough route, I get tired, I can't hold on. So the only way for you to be able to continue is to push yourself back and forth and swing, so you can get back to the wall, get climbing again. Like, I can't make it. Like, I need to rest sometimes. So that's how I do it. I swing back and forth from the wall, and it helps me. But I thought about it. I said, it's not that I'm not afraid. It's that I've learned how to control those fears and move through them. I can move past them now. So I still sometimes have the fear a little bit, but I know, because I built that repetition and that habit of being up there and letting go, I built the fact that I can deal with the fear because I know that I'm okay. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is by accepting the fact that you have a fear. And in that fear, that you're going to do things that are going to sabotage you, right? Fears sabotage us. They make us stop before we even start, okay? It's a problem for people. So you think about the fears that you have, right? You think about it, you got a fear of failure, or a fear of success, or fear of public speaking. And then you think about the things that you do in your life, and I bet you'll realize that you avoid anything related to those fears if you can help it. So I can tell you I was afraid of heights. 3 years ago, you wouldn't have found me at a climbing gym. No way, no how. But I decided, like I talked about before, kind of how I wanted to do something. I decided that I wanted to make a change, and I decided to try to hold that fear and push it aside, right? And I'm going to get into how this ties into work ethic in a second, okay? That fear that you have is going to keep you from doing what you want to do, because people tend to do things to reinforce that fear. So I have a fear of succeeding, or a fear of failure. I'm not gonna go do this. So I can tell you, when I started my blog, I had a fear of both failure and success. What happens if I succeed? Oh, I should not, I shouldn't do it. I'm not gonna do it, right? And then I had the same thing with success and with failure. If I go one way or the other, what happens? What happens if I fail and people don't like me? And then people start telling me I'm an idiot, or people make fun of me. It stopped me from doing what I wanted to do, and this happens all the time for people, right? It keeps them from doing what they want. So, like we talked about last week, and if you didn't check out last week, I'm gonna tell you, go back and check it out, right? Because it's about work ethic. Your fears will keep you from putting in the work necessary to get it done. There's no other way of putting it. If you watched last week, that you gotta do the work. You won't get ahead if you don't do the work and you don't put in the effort. Now, if you have fears, which we all do, I guarantee you that even if you don't realize it, those fears that you have are causing you to not push forward with your goals and to put in the work. Because you're gonna choose things that reinforce that fear. So you're gonna choose things that help you feel better about your fear and keep you from having to confront it. But I'm telling you right now, you don't have to. You can choose to make a choice that doesn't reinforce the fear. You can choose to accept the fact that you have a fear, and then you can choose to push forward in a direction not related to the fear. So, to give you some examples of that, right? I had a fear of heights. I now climb, right? I am now a climber. I climb every single weekend, right? You have a fear of public speaking. You need to go out and start speaking to people, okay? If you're working in a job and you want to get ahead, and speaking's part of it, and you got a fear of public speaking, you need to go out and you need to speak. Period. End of story. Because when you do, you will get over that fear. And as you get over that fear, you'll find that you'll be able to go farther and farther and farther. And as you go farther, you'll get farther ahead in your career, and you'll make more money. It's just that simple, right? Same thing with any other fear. If you let it control you, you will do the things that keep you right where you're at right now, okay? So think about it for a few minutes. Take a few minutes now and think about your fears, and don't lie to yourself. I promise you, if you lie to yourself, you're not gonna get ahead. You're not gonna go to where you need to go. I promise you that. So write down your fears, right? Whatever they are. You don't have to show them to anybody, but don't lie to yourself, okay? Don't do it. You're only hurting yourself if you do it. Write them down, and then figure out how they relate to your life. So then take a few minutes, figure out how they relate to your life, figure out where they're holding you back, figure out what habits you have related to those fears, figure out the goals that you want to accomplish. Think about the things that you want to do in your life, and then think about the fears that you have and why they're holding you back, right? So I want to help everybody that I can possibly help in this world. And through that, I have that fear of failure. What if I can't help somebody? There's gonna be people I can't help. It's okay. I understand that. Like, there's no way around it. I cannot help everybody. There are people who I will not be able to help. That's fine. What if I succeed? Oh my gosh, what if I succeed and then I have to quit my current job? Well, damn it, now I hope I do, because not that I don't like my job, my current job, but it's not what I want to do. I want to be helping people. That's what I want to do. So I want to succeed, okay? I want to succeed. I want to change the way people live their lives. So think about it, right? That fear that I have to relate it, the fears that I have of success and of failure have caused me to do things like wait 6 months to start a podcast or to start doing any sort of filming, right? I didn't want to do it. I wrote it down 6 months ago, 9 months ago, that I was gonna start doing filming, because it's a huge way to reach people, right? To put it out on the internet and to put that information out there is huge, right? That's the best medium to reach people, is some of the social media networks and then on your own site. So I didn't do it. I just didn't do it. And I didn't do it. And I didn't do it. And I didn't do it. And you know where I ended up? Right where I was in the beginning. Right where I was, because I was afraid. And you know what I got? Nothing. I got no farther along than I was 6 or 8 months before, because I was afraid. But not anymore. And you can do the same thing. I did the same thing with my website. I started it and I went kind of halfway because I was a little bit afraid. What if I succeed? What if I fail? What if somebody tells me, oh, you're an idiot, I don't like you, but whatever it is, so be it. If they say it, they say it. If I succeed, which I intend to succeed, great. Then I've met my goals and I'll find a bigger one and I'll keep going, okay? If I fail, then I've only learned something and I gotta find a different way to do it. But I don't let my fears rule me, okay? And it's not that I don't have them, it's just that I don't let them rule me. I try to choose actions and goals and take a path that does not lead me to fear. It leads me away from it, because if you're led by fear, you're gonna fail. I promise you, you cannot grow while you're living in fear. It just will not happen. So, that's it for this week. Thank you for joining me. I'm glad that I got to speak with you today, and I hope that I'll see you next week. Thanks.